Hello friends, I am Dr. B.V. Pawar, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Chemistry, Arts, Commerce and Science College, Jawar. Dear friends, since from last three online video lectures, we are going to discuss about the covalent bond. So far we saw various postulates of valence bond theory, then formation of hydrogen bond by or hydrogen molecule with the help of wave mechanical approach. Now today we want to study orbital overlap concept. Since today's lecture we discuss that how molecule get formed according to valence bond theory by considering the combination of atomic orbitals. But according to modern concepts of valence bond theory, here orbital overlap is very important. So according to orbital overlap concept, the formation of covalent bond between two atoms results from pairing of electrons. So the pairing of electron present in the valence shell having opposite spin. That means only when those atoms which having opposite spin, like this way, that opposite spin when they get paired, initially you know that when electron which is present in an orbital, let's say atomic orbital, there is no matter where it's the spin of that electron. But when the orbital will get overlap, then for example, you can see here, this is one orbital, this will be other orbital. So that kind of overlap, if it happen, at that time the spin of the orbital or the spin of electron in that kind of overlapping must be opposite in nature. So here if I draw like this way, this is spin of opposite type. Now the two overlapping orbital merge to form a bigger new orbital called as a molecular orbital. So after overlapping two atomic orbital, we will get let's say here a new orbital called as a molecular orbital, MO orbital. So the atomic orbital when overlap, at that time there is a release of energy taking place, and what amount of energy which is released during that overlap, that energy is actually the bond energy which is responsible for formation of molecule. Here the equilibrium distance at which the force of repulsion is balanced with the force of attraction, where the atomic nuclei join or combine, and that distance between the two nuclei of that orbital is called as bond length. Everybody understood? What is bond length? Bond length is defined as it is the distance between the two nuclei. This is the nucleus of one atom, this will be the nucleus of other atom. If you join that distance is called as a bond length. The equilibrium distance at which the force of repulsion and force of attractions get balanced, at that time that distance is called as a bond length. The number of covalent bond formed between two atoms in given molecule is called as a bond order. The bond order is defined as the number of covalent bond which are going to formed in between the two atoms in a molecule, called as a bond order. So if you saw the relation between bond order and the bond length, they are related by this equation. Bond order is inversely proportional to bond length. Bond order is inversely proportional to bond length. That means as the bond order increases, bond length decreases, or vice versa. As the bond order decreases, bond length increases. So this is how we can correlate these two important terms. Now if you saw, during the formation of covalent bond, the amount of energy released per mole at that time of overlapping or orbital formation or bond formation is called as bond energy. The amount of energy released during the formation of bond by orbital overlap, that energy is called as actually the bond energy. Okay, higher the amount of energy which are released during the formation of covalent bond, higher will be the bond strength, and therefore the strength of bond is totally depends on the extent of overlap. If the overlap is minimum, bond will be weaker. For example, here that overlap is weaker, but if the overlap is maximum, like this way, bond strength will be maximum. So we can make a sentence that greater overlap shorten the distance between two nuclei, stronger will be the bond. Here the nuclei between two atoms is more as compared to the distance between the nuclei of this atom. Why here distance is decreases? Because as the overlapping of atomic orbital increases, the extent of overlap increases, bond strength increases, bond length decreases, and therefore that bond become a stronger bond. But in above case you can see here overlap is in a very less extent, and therefore in this case bond will be weaker, but here in this case bond will be stronger. Thus we found that the order of bond length between two atoms is in the order as shown below. If the bond between two atoms is triple bond, which having less bond length as compared to double bond, so single bond having higher bond length as compared to double bond and triple bond. So for example, carbon if you take, in between two carbon atom, if there is single bond length will be larger, but if there is a carbon double bond length will be smaller as compared to single bond. And even in a carbon triple bond length again decreases or again shorten. So bond length of triple bond is shorter than double bonds, while the bond length of double bond is also shorter than single bonds. Here as I said, the triple bond dissociation energy is always greater than double bond dissociation energy than the single bond dissociation energy. You just take a example that if I have 3 sticks, if two person having 3 sticks, and if I said them to break that, is it possible to break easily? No, because the strength of 3 sticks are more larger or more than the strength of 2 sticks than the strength of 1 stick. You can break very easily 1 stick. That means the amount of energy required to break single stick is less as compared to double bond. But if you compared for triple bond, it is very high amount of energy required. Then and then only triple bond or 3 sticks can be broken down. So for 3 sticks we require larger energy as compared to 2 sticks, and again for single sticks we require a very less amount of energy to break it. Students, everybody understood? Listen, this is very important concept, that how valence bond theory help to understand the formation of covalent bond. Now if you compare these 3 concepts, bond order, bond length and bond energy, for carbon triple bond, carbon double bond and carbon single bond, then you can realize that for carbon triple bond order is 3, In definition we saw what is bond order. Bond order is defined as the number of covalent bond getting formed during the formation of molecule. So for carbon-carbon triple bond there will be 3 covalent bond, that's why bond order is 3. For carbon-carbon double bond there is a 2 covalent bond which are going to form, and therefore its bond order become 2. For carbon-carbon single bond, that means if there is a single bond between 2 carbon, at that time its bond order will be 1. Now if you compare the bond length for 3 different types of bond, for triple bond it is 1.20, for double bond it is 1.34, and for one single bond it is 1.54 Armstrong unit. Bond length is always measured in Armstrong unit. So for carbon-carbon single bond length is larger. But if you saw for carbon-carbon triple bond length is weaker, smaller as compared to single bond or double bond also, and therefore bond order will be larger. And if you see the bond energy in these 3 cases, again for carbon-carbon triple bond you require 200 kilocalorie per mole energy to break the carbon-carbon triple. But if you saw for carbon-carbon double bond, its energy decreases, which is 146 kilocalorie per mole. And for carbon-carbon single bond, the energy becomes near about 83 kilocalorie per mole. That means it is very, very lesser as compared to the triple bond, and therefore bond energy for carbon-carbon triple bond is larger than the bond energy of carbon-carbon single bond. Everybody understood that? This table actually gives us a brief information about bond order, bond length and bond energy. Again I will repeat here, bond order is inversely proportional to bond length, right? Bond order is directly proportional to bond energy. As bond order increases, bond order increases, bond energy also increases. Okay, so this is how that you have to keep in mind. Now once you understand these 3 important terms for the formation of covalent bond, then let me know what are the different modes of overlapping of atomic orbitals existing. So when, as I said, actually covalent bond is formed due to the overlapping of atomic orbitals, and therefore overlapping of atomic orbital play an important role to understand the modern concept. When 2 half-filled atomic orbitals of 2 atoms overlap, they get from the molecular orbitals. That means when 2 atomic orbitals of 2 different atoms or same atoms which contain an electron, and if that electron is single, at that time both electrons are, if they are single, they require to get paired. At that time they will share their electrons to form the molecular orbital. So only such an atomic orbital which having half-filled electron, that only get participated for the formation of molecular orbital. So in valence shell, if there is a orbital which having a 2 type, for example one is filled orbital and another is a half-filled orbital, which orbital will get involved for the formation of molecular orbital? So only half-filled atomic orbitals involved for the formation of molecular orbital. Now as atoms have atomic orbitals, in molecules have molecular orbital. That is very simple. If atom having atomic orbital, for example, which atomic orbital atom have? That is S, P, D, F. These are called as an atomic orbital. On the contrary, if you saw in molecules having also the molecular orbitals, sigma, pi, delta, omega. These are called as a molecular orbitals. Everybody understood? Now the formation of molecular orbital takes place by different combination of overlapping of atomic orbitals, like SS overlap, SP overlap and PP overlap. What is SS overlap, SP overlap and PP overlap, or overlapping of atomic orbitals? That can be understood with the help of some examples. We will see that. For example, formation of hydrogen molecule, HCl molecule, as well as some chlorine molecules. That kind of overlapping we want to understand. So depending upon the mode of overlapping of atomic orbitals, there are two types of covalent bond formed. One is a sigma bond, another is a pi bonds. So sigma bond is formed by axial overlapping of atomic orbital, right, and pi bond will get formed by lateral overlapping, or the sidewise overlapping of atomic orbitals. Everybody understood up to this point? Actually this topic is not new for you, because in 12th standard I know this topic was in your syllabus, that nature of covalent bond. Now let me see some example which helps to understand the types of atomic orbital overlapping, that is SS overlapping, SP overlapping or PP atomic orbital overlapping. So here we will see first formation of hydrogen molecule. When two half-filled, one atomic orbital of two hydrogen atoms, each atom having one electron. So this one electron having this one electron is, when they are in atoms, they are having a upward sign spin, but when they combine, their spin will get opposite. Okay, so I will repeat again. In the formation of H2 molecule, when two half-filled 1s1 atomic orbitals of two hydrogen atoms, one each with opposite spin, approach to form the molecule. At equilibrium distance, overlapping of atomic orbital result in the formation of covalent bond, as shown in figure. So in below figure you can see that there are two hydrogen atoms. Let me see, I will show you here. What is the electronic configuration of hydrogen? That is 1s1. So for two hydrogen, I will show here. This is one hydrogen atom. This will be other hydrogen atom. Okay. Now if you show this in a pictorial form, let's say this is the one of the orbital of hydrogen, 1s orbital of hydrogen, this is another 1s orbital of hydrogen. Initially, when two atoms, if they are far apart from each other, at that time their electron having a upward spin, right? That means one will be, both electron will having the opposites same spin, like this way. Okay, but when they come close to each other like this way, what happens? Their spin will get reverse. When they approach at one distance, at that time spin get reverse. And at one point when the orbital get overlap, at that time the equilibrium distance between two atomic orbital, that internuclear distance becomes called as a bond length, right? So that you have to remember. Now in this diagram that is mentioned that this is one hydrogen atom, this will be another hydrogen atoms, So when the atomic orbital overlap, both are s orbital, so that overlap will now called as a ss overlap, right? So during as we know that s orbital is spherical in shape, so it will be lie on axial, so if axial manner. So when the overlapping between two 1s1 orbital taking place axially, there is formation of a sigma bond. So SS overlap of this point or of this type will form the sigma bond. Now when the molecular orbital formed, it contained pair of electrons with opposite spin. The molecular orbital surrounds both nucleus as well as electrons in it, and therefore as we know that in atomic orbital there is only one nucleus is there, but in a molecular orbital there are more than one nuclei, right? If you just compare that atomic orbital is a monocentric while a molecular orbital is a polycentric. What is monocentric? Monocentric means which contain only one electrons. And what is polycentric? Polycentric means which may contain more than one electron. Everybody understood? Now, in H2 molecule, two hydrogen atoms are bonded by single bond called as a sigma bond. So you can see here. So here the bond which is going to form in between two hydrogen atom, that will be called as a sigma bond. Why it is? Because it is formed by a axial SS type of overlap. Everybody understood that how H2 molecule will get formed by the orbital overlapping. Now SS overlap 100% gives you the sigma bond formation. But here some other types like a sp overlap, if p orbital is of on z axis, which is a molecular axis or the axis which lie on the in a such a way that s orbital will get overlap with, so this is s orbital which we, and this is p orbital. If both get overlap, that overlapping taking place like this. Now if it is happen along in one axis called as a z axis, which is a molecular axis, at that time that overlap is called as a sp overlap. And during the formation of molecule by this manner, again there will be called as a sigma bond. The bond between one s orbital and if there is a p orbital, if both orbital lie on the same manner, at that time that overlapping will be axial overlapping, which result into the formation of sigma bond. Everybody understood? Okay. These are the different ways that how sigma and pi bond will get formed. These are the different pictorial presentation. Now, as I said earlier, greater is the extent of overlap, stronger is the bond. In sigma bond orbital, there is a symmetrical around the internuclear axis, and therefore sigma bond is a stronger bond than the pi bond. Sigma bond is not only produced by SS overlap, but it also produced by sp overlap in HF molecule and px overlap in a X2 molecule, for example Cl2, Br2 and so on. So here actually instead of saying just few minutes before I told that this is a pz orbital, actually in your book this orbital is considered as a px orbital. So you just do the correction that px orbital is a molecular X orbital or a axial orbital. So s orbital of hydrogen overlap with px orbital of fluorine, there is a s-px type of overlap which result into formation of HF molecule. Now sometime what happen, if px orbital of one atom overlap with px orbital of other atom, that overlap is called as a px-px overlap, or it is also called as a head-on overlap. That means head of px orbital overlap with head of another px orbital, so that overlapping will be head-on overlapping, which result into the formation of a covalent bond. But at that time here, when p orbital combines, there will be formation of nodal plane or a plane is called as a nodal plane when there is a probability of finding of electron is very less. Now when covalent bond is formed, the overlapping of two half-filled atomic orbital of valence shell along the line perpendicular to the internuclear axis, then that bond is called as a pi bond. This is the definition of pi bond. What is the definition of sigma bond? The bond which is formed due to axial overlapping. If both orbital along the same axis, like x-axis, then that is always there a sigma bond. But if two orbital which overlap sidewise, then there will be a what kind of overlapping? Lateral overlapping or the sidewise overlapping. At that time there will be formation of pi bond. In another word, pi bond is produced by sidewise overlap or the lateral overlap of two half-filled atomic orbitals, belongs to the valence shell of two combining atoms. Thus x or axis is assumed to be a molecular axis. Remember, while px and py and pz axis is not a molecular axis. So x is a molecular axis, always generate sigma bond, while py and pz orbital always generate a pi bond when they get overlap. This you have to keep in mind. Now this can be understood with the help of this diagram also. Here I said that pi bond is weaker than the sigma bond. In pi bond, orbital is unsymmetrical and concentrated above and below the nodal plane. So look at here. This is the nodal plane. Sorry. What is nodal plane? Now this is a nodal plane. The plane where what happened? Probability of finding of electron is very negligible or less. So in nodal plane, above which there will be one lobe and below there will be one lobe of the orbital. Pi bond does not affect by the geometry, but sigma bond can affect by the geometry. When the atomic orbital overlap along the line joining the two nuclei, they form the sigma molecular orbital, which are cylindrical in shape. So when atomic orbital overlap laterally, they form the pi molecular orbital, and these molecular orbitals have the internuclear axis lying in a nodal plane and form the pi bond. So formation of molecular orbital by overlapping of atomic orbital release energy, and lower the energy, more will be the stability of that particular. That you have to keep in mind. Remember, this is the one important concept, that higher the energy, lower will be the stability. So lower will be the energy in the molecule, higher will be the stability. So in conclusion, over the valence bond theory helps. What we conclude here, the formation of covalent bond due to pairing of electrons in the valence shell of combining atoms with opposite spin. So that is one important concept, that while overlapping of atomic orbital, the spin of electron which are going to pair, that must be in opposite spin. Only those atomic orbital can overlap which having same symmetry, and during the formation of molecular orbital, energy release which helps to stabilize the molecular orbitals or molecules. Here one more important conclusion I want to highlight, that when the structure cannot explain with the help of ionic or covalent bonding, at that time that structure can be understood or can be explained with the help of resonance hybrid or the resonating structure. So that will be studied in the next video lecture. So we'll stop here. This is very basic concept about the covalent bond. Okay, so study hard, be safe, prepared for examinations.